This is Tom Doody, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. Obituary, Darryl Dawkins. More technically, this is a tribute in the New York Times as a news report of the death of Darryl Dawkins, age 58. The New York Times put it on their lead page today. Darryl Dawkins, lovable N.B.A. figure and fierce dunker, dies at 58. Darryl Dawkins, who arrived in professional basketball as a gigantic teenager, became one of the game's fiercest dunkers, most notoriously lovable characters, and backboard-smashing, referee-dissing, fun-loving manchild known to fans as Chocolate-Thunder and Planet Lovetron, died on Thursday. Allentown, Pennsylvania, he was 58. Tracey Sechler, a spokeswoman for Lehigh Valley Hospital in Allentown, confirmed the death. Robert Tyler, a family friend, said the apparent cause was heart failure. One of basketball's larger-than-life figures, though his 6'11" and more than 250 pounds, he was pretty large to begin with. Dawkins made his mark on sports history in a number of ways. Darryl Dawkins shattered 2 backboards in less than a month in 1979 off the glass in the distance sound Chocolate Thunder 2007. Selected as an 18-year-old Orlando, Florida by the Philadelphia 76ers as the 5th overall choice in the 1975 N.B.A. draft, he became the first player to make the leap directly from high school to the N.B.A. He was not the first high schooler to turn pro. A year earlier, Moses Malone jumped from high school to Virginia to the Utah Stars, a franchise of the American Basketball Association, which later merged with the NBA in 1976. But immature, not technically adept around basketball, and resistant to entreaties of his coaches, Gene Shue and later Billy Cunningham, I was uncoachable, he admitted years later. He began his career in the shadows of other N.B.A. great big men like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob Lanier, and Wesley Unseld. Even so, by his 5th season, he became averaging nearly 15 points, 19 rebounds a game, and his coaches loved him anyway. He was hard to be mad at. Darryl Dawkins, Cunningham recalled in an interview with ESPN in 2010. I mean, he would drive you crazy, but he was a little boy inside. A little boy. Besides, no one, not even Wilt Chamberlain, could dunk like Dawkins. And on November night in 1979, with the Sixers playing in Kansas City against the Kings, Dawkins rose over Kings power forward Bill Robinzine, and his powerful dunk literally brought down the basket, shattering plexiglass backboard and raining clear pellets all over the floor, delaying the game by 90 minutes. He gave the dunk a name. The If-You-Ain't-Groovin, Best-Get-Movin, Chocolate-Thunder-Flyin, Robinzine-Cryin, Teeth-Shakin, Glass-Breakin, Rump-Roastin, Bun-Toastin, Glass-Still-Flyin, Wham-Bam-I-Am-Jam. When Dawkins repeated the feat a few games later, the Chocolate Thunder ain't playing, get out of the way, away backboard swaying, game delaying, super spike, he called that one. The N.B.A. responded by warning him that he would be fined if he did it again. and later made it illegal to hang on the rim after a dunk, a dictum that later became known as the Dawkins rule. Everybody says a dunk is only 2 points, but it gets your team hyped, gets the crowd all excited, and takes the starch out of the other teams, especially when you dunk on somebody. Duncan said in an interview with the New York Times, and I always dunked on somebody. Dawkins played a total of 14 seasons in the NBA. The first was with the Sixers, with whom he went on to league champion finals 3 times and lost each time. In 82 and 83 season, the season after he departed, Moses Malone replaced him at center, and the Sixers won the title, which they had not done since. The backboard shattering after Dawkins' dunk in 1979, that's a photo caption. More notably, he led the league 3 times in personal fouls, testimony to his ferocious inside play, and possibly because the refs were not crazy about him. And because he dunked so often and shot well from mid-range, his career shooting percentage, 0.572, the 7th highest in league history. Darryl Dawkins was born in Orlando, January 11th, 1957. He was raised mostly by his mother, the former Harriet James, though Mr. Tyler, his friend, said he remained close to his father, Frank Dawkins. He led Maynard Evans High School in Orlando to a Florida State championship in 1975. After his N.B.A. career ended, Dawkins played professionally in Italy and spent a year with the Harlem Globetrotters. In recent years, he coached professional teams in Winnipeg and Allentown, where he met Janice Hutterman, who became his 4th wife in 2001. A gentle giant in his later years, Dawkins also coached a basketball team in Lehigh Carbon Community College in Snexville, Pennsylvania, not far from Allentown, where he lived. In addition to his wife, his survivors include their son, Nicholas, and daughter, Alexis, a stepdaughter, Tabitha, a daughter from a previous marriage, Dara, his mother, and several siblings. A number of players include Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, LeBron James followed Dawkins' lead and entered the N.B.A. right from high school. Not long after Dawkins' backboard shattering spree, the league introduced a so-called breakaway rim, which yields to downward pressure and then snaps back to horizontal, minimizing the potential for destruction. The first one was an accident, but I wanted to see if I could do it again when I got back to Philadelphia, Dawkins recalled in a 2004 Times interview, referring to his most smashingly spectacular dunks. All the fans were hollering, "You've got to do one for the home crowd." So I went ahead and brought it down. Everybody was in awe. Fans were running out, grabbing glass. People's hands were bleeding. I felt I was doing something no other human could do. This has been Tom Doody, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Doody in a Google search for my site. Rest in peace, Darryl Dawkins. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.